Well everyone, in a fantastic turn of events, it seems that coming super quick through the post, I have actually now received the Dalek factory set. This is a set with 426 pieces, and it's actually very large and very heavy. Now, I was under the impression it was the same size as the Cyberman set, but we can see here from the comparison of the boxes, this is clearly not so. So, now that we can move that out of the way, again, I'm going to try to do another speed build, and this time we'll hope that we can get the camera in the right place. However, I must say that this set is looking really interesting, and I'm interested to see whether some of the criticisms that I've seen online, such as it being very flimsy in places, are recognised in this set. Because if you have a look at my soon-to-be uploaded Cybermen review, I found that Cybermen was one of the sturdiest character building sets I've actually had the pleasure of dealing with. And for a first wave set was really good. So I'm interested to see how character building has developed this set here. Now the first thing I'd like to say about the packaging, however, I think it's really disappointing and misleading that on the box we've got, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the drone Daleks. However, we can see that there's actually only 1 included in the set. And being a Dalek factory, I would have liked to have seen a couple more included in this set, or at least a very clear representation that there aren't actually this many included. Because at a quick glance, you'd go, wow, this is a good set to buy if I want lots of Daleks. But this is not actually the case. However, leaving that aside, let's have a look and get right into the speed build of the Doctor Who Character Building Wave 1 Dalek Factory set by TrainzXtreme. As you can see, it's moments like these when I'm like, oh, character building, why can't you include a numbered bag system? Because this is 426 pieces of mess, ladies and gentlemen. And this is why the speed build actually takes quite a long time compared to Lego sets, because you have to sift through all these different pieces to find the ones you're looking for, combined with the nature of the instructions, which I have talked about in previous reviews, but we'll get to once we've actually finished building the set. So, here we go. Deep breath. Stress less. Okay guys, well as you can see, this is actually going to take forever to build, so I think we're going to abandon the idea of a speed build, and instead I'll just take some quick stills of what it kind of looks like as it's coming up along the way, as there are some other speed builds of people who can actually read the instructions of these on the internet already. Now this, obviously, is the Dalek factory complete with an assortment of my own Daleks on there. And you can see that it actually does look quite impressive when you start to fill up all the cavities with our favourite Doctor Who villains. However, that's kind of cheating, since the set actually only comes with 2 Daleks. So, now that you've seen kind of the set dressing for this review, let's actually have a look at what comes in the box. Alrighty, so let's have a look at what we actually get figure-wise in this set. We get an orange Dalek, which is, as you've probably seen in other reviews, very the same as the orange Daleks that you could get as part of the character building little time sphere sets, the ones with the things that shoot and they fall open. I've actually forgotten what they've called for the life of me. The character building did make a little game series with those. Now, we also get a red Dalek, which is the same as the red Daleks from all the previous character building ranges. And so, they're very typical set figures, and I can say that I actually did receive the correct ones, which are the ones that you're supposed to receive in this set. So that's a good start, seeing I have heard of other people getting the wrong Daleks with their sets. So as you can see, this is a much larger set than the one that we saw, whoop, is it coming apart already? Than the one that we saw in the Cyberman set. But it's a very, very nice set, and there's a lot going on. So we can see, if we have a quick look around, we can see we've got this kind of control panel area just here. We've got a crane, which is here, operates like so. It's got the moving arms like this, and it rotates as like the Cyberman one, that same piece, so it rotates like this. But also 360 degrees. Now we have this bin here, which has a removable lid. Well, not removable lid, but the lid opens. So you can see it does come off easily, but I'll probably save talking about this till the faults a little bit more. But it is like supposedly a spare parts bin, this part here. And if we keep coming around, we've got this here, which I quite like, which is a removable hopper. So that's quite actually well designed, and I like the way they've kind of backwards built it, and it sits nicely in this little part on the bottom. We've got a little control panel at the back here with more switches. We've got this kind of heating assembly here, which I'm assuming is to stop the center for overheating. Now in there, which is a bit hard to see, but there is like a central column, central supporting column that's kind of a Dalek shape. And then we come around to the main feature of the set, which is this assembly line. Now as you can see, if we rotate these knobs, any one will do, this end, or you can rotate the one on the other end if you so wished. It's a little bit easier to rotate the one at the end that you're twisting it towards. Just pulls the this on a little bit more, and you can see that it's a nice belt system. We come past the belt, and we come to this, which is another one of the so we come along here, and we come down to another one of these, which is designed similar to the one on the Silence ship. It's a little bit different. Once again, I think it's a very cool way that they've managed to build a sliding platform, and I like how this one you can come all the way out and it comes down. So there's actually quite a bit of playability in this set, and as we see, we can see if we put the scientist here or on this position here, he's got plenty of places where he can be to oversee the construction. And we can see that we can have the Dalek on the construction assembly line, and we can kind of pull him along like so. And it gets a bit complicated when it gets to the end, because you kind of just have to imagine that he ends up on this little platform here, because otherwise he just falls off. But there's actually a lot of playability in this set. There's a lot of really nice features used by character building. You've got a lot of different colours, which I also like. The use of the yellow and the green highlights really reflect the, the new paradigm nature of the Daleks. We've got not a lot going on underneath, but there's a lot of space. So as we saw in the opening, you can actually fit quite a few Daleks. If we just turn it on the side, you can kind of see it there. So there's actually quite a big set, and there's quite a lot of playability in this set, in the lots of moving parts and lots of really interesting designs. You've got all kinds of build. This whole part is actually built upside down, and as you can see from that, you actually attach it on upside down. So you've got some sideways building here. You've got designs like this, which you can see these walls, unlike Lego, where they build up like so. If we actually take this off, you can see it a little bit better. These walls are actually plates that have been attached by the 90-degree plate pieces. So you can actually very effectively make lightweight walls without having to make a pile of bricks. But as you can see, they're also nowhere near as strong as a pile of bricks would be. And so obviously that design is also employed over here. So there's actually quite a lot going on in this set, and I think that it's got a nice bit of size about it, and there's quite a few good little features of it. However, unfortunately, despite the good things in this set, there are also quite a few bad things. So I think it's equally as important that we as obviously you can make what you want of the fun part, and I actually quite enjoy using this set, but it's really important that in a review that I tell you what's wrong with it, so you can judge that up with whether or not you think it's worth buying. So again, the first fault with this is really that it only comes with 2 Daleks. Now on the box, we get the impression we get a lot more, because not only are there some in the parts bin, there's 2 almost there, there's one there, and one on the end, and one coming down. But then of course we're told we actually only get 1 of each. Which, I mean, is alright, but I think that again, for a set that's a factory, you should at least get 1 more, so that you can have 1 as spare parts, and 1 actually being built on the assembly line. Now again, this set isn't too bad for discrepancies between what's actually contained within the package and what you get in the box. In fact, from my preliminary looks, there's only a couple of little bits, such as like that little bit there, which, as you can see, is completely absent, and a couple of color changes, such as these pipes coming out the front, whereas here they come off at a 90-degree angle, and a couple of little color design changes, so you can see there's shiny pieces here as opposed to just matte. But I mean, this is actually quite a good one in the sense that most of it's the right color. As you can see, there's a couple of color changes here from the yellow that we actually see. But that doesn't worry me so much with this one. What worried me really early on was during the building process, this, as you can see, has actually broken. There's meant to be 2 of these little halves that allow it to move, so that when you put this on, as you can see, this one here has 2 halves, whereas this one of the halves is actually broken off. Now, thankfully, it's still got enough tension in it so that this doesn't fall off, and it does actually still work. However, it did worry me that the first time I tried to construct this, that did actually break, and I'm quite a careful builder, I must say, and I was very frustrated to see that actually happened. The next thing is this box. Now, there's 2 things I don't like about the box. Although I appreciate this building technique, as you saw just, a couple of seconds ago, when you apply force to it, it's very easily broken. The second thing is, the design is that the hole is on this side, which, to be honest, to me, makes sense in the sense that you can see it. But if we quickly do a very quick deconstruction off-screen of a Dalek, and we put him in the spare parts, like, it kind of seems a bit strange that they didn't put a clear piece here or something, because obviously if you pile up some Daleks in here, they're not going to stay in. They just kind of fall out. And so I think that's a bit of a weird design. As you can see, it's come off again. And that when we open this up, the lid, a lot of the pieces don't actually fit through this size. Like, this piece does, but only very just. This piece does, but again, only if it's coming out this way. So I think that what would have made a little bit more sense, possibly with this, would have been to have another wall here, and then to have no lid on this, and just have it as an open pit, like the hopper on the other side. So I think that's a little bit strange, and possibly not a grand idea, especially when we can see that, as it is, like, because there's this lid, if we open it up, the arm can't actually get in there, because even if we close it, it kind of gets this far and stops. So I think a lot more sense would have been made in giving this a 4th wall, and then not having a lid, so you could still see the parts inside, still easily load it and unload it, but also get more playability out of this arm here. Now, this arm's quite good in itself. The only thing is it only doesn't quite reach the entire assembly line. So if we get our Dalek and put him on the middle of the assembly line, well, that's okay, except that we knock him over to try and get the arm in. So that's a little bit of a worry. And then the last final criticism I really have, because this is actually quite solid, like it's a very solid kind of set. It doesn't want to fall apart like the TARDIS does every time you touch it. But what is an issue is this belt. Now, as you can see, it's kind of stopped turning, and that's because it moves. Despite there being a ridge, if you can see it, there's a ridge that's supposed to go into the grooves on this track. They don't stay in, and so we can adjust this, but then it keeps getting caught because it rolls off the treads and onto this instead. And so I think that's a bit of an issue when you can't play with it because you have to keep readjusting this tire mechanism. And not only that, but the Dalek, if we don't lean him on there properly, at the moment he's staying on, but then he just falls off. This is especially prominent with the other type of Daleks. These ones kind of get about halfway, and then they're very precariously balancing. They don't actually balance like this like we see in the diagram, at all. And so I think the belt should have been wider or redesigned so that didn't happen. My one last little niggle with this set was the stickers. Now, there was no instructions at all on where to put the stickers, and there was lots of stickers left over. I had a couple of these left over, I didn't know where to go. There was a couple of these left over, I wasn't sure where to put them. And so there is actually quite a few stickers I haven't actually put on this set, because I don't know where they go. And because of the large nature of the set, I mean, you can kind of figure out some of them, as you said, I haven't actually put that sticker on there. But some of them you just have no idea. And so, I mean, character building, yeah, thank you for including stickers, and thank you for including extra stickers, which this does come with, extra stickers in case you wreck the first ones. But it would help us if you actually told us where those stickers you put so much extra effort into giving us where they actually went. And so if anyone has a video where they know or has this set and has figured out where some of the stickers are supposed to go, please let me know. But do I recommend this set? So after everything's been said and done, do I recommend the Dalek Factory? Well, I must say, I definitely still recommend this set. And I think that a lot of the negative things that I've read about it and seen about it in other reviews don't necessarily hold up. I think that overall it's quite a good set. I think the main reason I can see people getting frustrated is because the main element of this set doesn't quite work as well as I think it could have worked if they just put a little bit more thought and a little bit more design choice, like conscious design choice into designing that belt system. But apart from that, I think it's a very good set, and I think combined with the spaceship that we've had and the control room that we saw, the progenitor control room, I think you can build up quite an interesting Dalek empire. And with all the extra space and all the extra room in this set, there's a lot of playability in the sense that, you know, especially from my perspective, using it in Markland Who, there's a lot of room to, you know, get interesting camera angles and get interesting scenes and get interesting spaces. Now, I must say, apart from those few little niggles that I pointed out earlier, I'm actually really happy with the way this turned out. I think that it's quite worth it. I paid $70 for this, which was from eBay because it's not in production anymore. But obviously, it was charged a lot more than that, more like $90 when it was actually in Australian stores. So I paid the same for this as I did for the Cyberman set, and I can say that I think this has more piece value. Obviously, it's got almost double the amount of pieces. But I think that this is a good set. I think this the Cyberman set's good. And I think, to be honest, the only set that I don't really recommend from the character building line's first wave would have to be the TARDIS interior set. Especially in the light that hopefully by the end of this year, although it hasn't come out yet, we're going to get the new TARDIS interior. So on that note, I'd say go for this set, especially if you're a Dalek fan, character building fan, or you just want some more infrastructure for your Dalek or Doctor Who movies. And so on that note, please comment, rate, subscribe, all those things that people do on YouTube. Let me know if you've got any opinions or if you've had any other experiences with this set. And of course, thank you for watching, and that's all we've got time for now from TrainzXtreme.